definitely always admired a photographer in Southwest Australia called Christian Fletcher. He's a landscape photographer, but he's also brilliant at fine art as well. So that blend of the two is pretty awesome in his work. He is based in an amazing part of the world where the landscapes are truly amazing and unspoilt beaches and coastlines, and that's what he focuses on, which is similar to my work as well, just to focus on the coastlines. That's where you get a lot of colour and change in the scenes, but he's very, very talented at picking up that close detail as well as the wider shot.
One of the biggest artistic influences in my life was Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, because of the imagination that it gave me. Even with my work, I would go out when I was at college and take photographs that reminded me of music inside me.
Again, when I was at college, I was introduced to Rankins work first, and that's when I sort of realised that there was a lot out there, and that's when I started looking into it. I was also photographed by him. I went over when I was 18 to Rankin Live, and it was just cool to meet someone that you're inspired by.
Probably painters, abstract painters, early 20th century probably. So where they're using colour or strong imagery to tell a story. And again, these are the paintings that you've got to look at and develop something with them. So those have been my sort of first choice of looking for inspiration, would be painting modern photographers.
I really like Steve McCurry. Yeah. I actually missed his exhibition when he came to Jersey last year, I think it was. I had a look on the internet at his work because I'd heard my work was maybe quite similar to his, with the whole travel aspect and the portraiture side of it as well.
If I like something a lot, I'll try and maybe replicate it, whether it's an aerial idea, someone doing something abstract with sort of the landscape, or with a beach, or someone doing light painting or long exposures. I'll try and find somewhere on Guernsey that I can try and find the best fit to try and replicate that idea and go with it.
I think probably there's an American street photographer called John Free that I really like his work, and another guy called Zach Arias. It's not particularly because of their work that I like, but I think it's their attitude. They're very honest about that photography is a difficult process. It's not just the technical aspect, it's maintaining inspiration, it's kind of breaking through the areas where you get frustrated with your work and just keep pushing to get better and better. I think their attitude is what inspires me rather than their work. You see so many fantastic images, and I guess the easiest route would be to try and replicate those, but I try and pull kind of interests from loads of different areas and try and combine that into something that's me rather than kind of replicating what other people are doing.
I'd say Nick Dape is obviously definitely one of the best photographers out there. There's also plenty of other local photographers, guys like Dave Sovereign, Christos Hall, producing some great stuff.
My first inspiration, if I was landscape photographer, was Cara Taylor. So I watched lots of his videos, how to take the best shots of the seascapes. And then when I started newborn photography, was American photographers called Baby as Art. And it's a lot of inspiration, because they started that kind of photography in America.
So Gannon Rowell was a US photographer. He sadly died in an air accident a good few years ago. But his work was quite outstanding, and what was notable for landscape times, he used a 35mm camera, so he wasn't encumbered with gear, and he used to go climbing a lot in a lot of the sort of world's biggest mountains and that, and really came out with some very great landscape work.
I think I'd have to say David Leventhal, there, that took pictures of these miniature figurines. Throughout my degree at Glasgow Art School, I studied and photographed miniature figurines, toys, for my final degree show, which was comprised of many images to do with toys, especially my mother's old farmyard animals that were made from lead. And that initial fascination with these miniature objects has led to the newer bodies of work that I've recently produced and continue to produce.
My biggest inspiration is probably a photographer called Aaron Nace. He's the creator of a Photoshop website called Flern, and he basically taught me pretty much, you know, the building blocks of Photoshop and how to kind of self-teach yourself the difficult things, but really laid like the groundwork for me to establish how to use Photoshop and how to correctly use digital editing. And his work is stuff that I always keep referring back to, and it's this really beautiful, surreal kind of portraits most of the time. And what his work shows me is that if it's in your head, there is a way to get it out of there. And I find sometimes with photography it can be limiting if you're someone that wants to express themselves, you know, like what is inside you out there. And using Photoshop in that way, it really kind of takes the cap off your head and lets you just explore everything and put it out there, and you can create some stuff that's so like truly unique that it's like photography has gone all the way back around to kind of painting again. And yeah, I just find that really inspiring. I'm nowhere near his level yet, but I know it's possible, which is it's a great motivating feeling.